Sweden's secret sixth-generation fighter revealed it could change air combat forever. Despite being known as one of the peace-loving countries of the world, Sweden is quietly building a fighter jet that has military analysts around the world on edge. The Flag System 2020 is a fully funded, actively developing sixth-generation aircraft designed to dominate the future of air combat. While other nations debate budgets and delays, Sweden is hitting milestones, pushing stealth, AI, and manned-unmanned teaming to new extremes, and changing what a small nation can achieve in defense. Sweden introduces the Flag System 2020. Sweden is quietly pushing forward a high-stakes gamble with the Flag System 2020. Far from being just a pipe dream, this is a fully funded sixth-generation fighter program that could radically shape the future of air combat. In October 2025, the Swedish Defense Materiel Administration awarded Saab a contract worth about 2.6 billion Swedish kroner, equal to $274 million, to advance their work on next-generation combat aircraft. Unlike some nations stuck in indecision, Sweden is committed to next-gen deliverables and a clear roadmap. By the end of 2025, Saab aims to complete design drawings for a demonstrator aircraft. A flying prototype could follow by 2027, and the ambitious goal is to have the system fully operational by 2035, replacing the aging Gripen fleet. At the heart of this effort is Sweden's long-lasting tradition of smart, efficient defense innovation. With Gripen, they mastered cost-effective design, modular components, and agile deployment. Now they are upgrading things with stealth, artificial intelligence, and unmanned teaming. Sweden is focused on developing a full systems architecture with advanced stealth, an innovative modular design, manned-unmanned teaming, AI co-pilots, and system of systems architecture. In fact, the stealth offered by this jet is advanced across multiple spectra. Advanced stealth across multiple spectra. Stealth lies at the very heart of the Flag System 2020 design, and not just in the traditional sense. Unlike earlier generations of fighters that focused mainly on reducing their radar cross-section, the Swedish sixth-gen jet is being engineered for multi-spectral low observability. This includes radar, infrared, and even acoustic signatures, which can be suppressed simultaneously. Analysts say that it gives it a potential edge in future contested airspace. On the radar front, the fighter's concepts emphasize advanced shaping and materials to scatter and absorb enemy radar emissions. The specific dimensions are still classified, but it's clear that the aircraft will use radar-absorbing composites and a blended wing body design. It has a smooth, integrated fuselage wing architecture that reduces reflective surfaces and makes hostile radar returns unpredictable. But stealth in the infrared spectrum is just as important. The jet is designed to reduce its heat signature through cutting-edge materials and engineering. Lower IR visibility makes it much harder for heat-seeking missiles to lock on, and gives Swedish pilots more freedom to operate near sophisticated enemy air defenses. By combining the infrared suppression with radar stealth, the jet can easily evade different sensor threats. Acoustic stealth adds another layer. In fact, the Flag System 2020 could be designed to operate with very low noise levels, reducing its acoustic footprint in ways that no current frontline jet can match. The quietness is especially valuable in reconnaissance or supporting roles, and also in surprise attacks. It's pretty much a silent fighter that could sneak into any hostile airspace without being noticed. Sweden's ongoing work on future aircraft concepts, showcased at the AFC 2025 conference, confirms that low observable characteristics are being applied on all their fighter jet designs. These designs offer a cohesive stealth strategy, not just for a single aircraft, but for an entire system of manned and unmanned platforms. The jet is designed to operate in unison. Sweden's secret sixth-generation fighter is expected to dominate the skies, especially with the innovative modular design that they come with. Before we dive into that, if you're fascinated by next-gen military tech like this, hit that like and subscribe button to catch all the latest military news. Innovative modular design. At the core of the Flag System 2020 is a design philosophy rooted in modularity and shared components. It's an approach that gives Sweden impressive flexibility in how it deploys and sustains its next-generation air fleet. Sweden's concept isn't just about building one new fighter, It's more about creating a family of platforms united by common avionics, mission systems, and hardware. The modular architecture extends across both crewed and uncrewed platforms. In the F-Series version, manned fighters share significant DNA with multiple types of drones, from supersonic loyal wingman drones to smaller subsonic drones, through shared avionics, sensors, and structural components. This will reduce development costs, streamline logistics, and make it easier to maintain and upgrade different aircraft in the system. In terms of operations, the design supports dispersed basing and rapid development. Sweden doesn't only want to launch this jet from traditional air bases, but also from highways, forest clearings, or small makeshift airstrips. This is similar to earlier Swedish fighters like the Gripen, which were built to use austere and widely distributed runways. Sweden reduces the vulnerability of its air force to concentrated attacks, improving resilience in any conflict. The modular mission bays and interoperable systems make it much easier to swap roles or upgrade platforms without complete redesign. Sweden is focused on using proven technologies, like Gripen's engine systems, avionics, and maintainability, while also integrating next-gen stealth and AI capabilities. So future fighters and drones in the flag system could evolve more rapidly, adapting to new mission demands or threat environments with low risk. Sweden has an impressive industrial strategy that makes up its design. It partners with companies like Saab and GKN Aerospace to use additive manufacturing and advanced production techniques needed to build shared, modular components. This gives Stockholm technological sovereignty and cost leverage. It reuses common parts across a diverse fleet and makes the economics of a cutting-edge air ecosystem far more sustainable. But even more interesting, Sweden combines manned and unmanned teaming in the Flag System 2020. Manned-unmanned teaming capabilities. One of the most transformative aspects of the Flag System 2020 is its built-in manned-unmanned teaming, sometimes called loyal wingman architecture. Instead of just fielding a new manned jet, the program imagines a fleet of unmanned aircraft that operate alongside it under a unified command and control structure. Under the latest 2.6 billion Swedish kroner contract from Sweden's Defense Material Administration, Saab is studying both manned and unmanned systems within a system of systems framework. They plan to test how multiple platforms work together. It's expected that the Flag System 2020 would have 3 unmanned aircraft types paired with future manned fighters, all sharing core systems like avionics and mission modules. That means one pilot in the flag jet could command several drones, each with different roles like reconnaissance, strike, electronic warfare, or attritable missions. Because these systems share a lot of hardware and software, sustaining and scaling the force becomes more efficient. Common avionics or sensors across manned and unmanned platforms make maintenance, training, and logistics much simpler. In a combat scenario, the human pilot becomes more like a battlefield commander. He flies the jet and coordinates multiple drones. These wingman drones can fly ahead to scout, draw enemy fire, jam radar, or even engage threats, while the manned aircraft stays in a safer position. If something goes wrong or a drone is shot down, the pilot and the more expensive manned jet remain protected. The teaming also dovetails with Sweden's broader strategy under its future combat aviation concept. The country is building a resilient and dispersed air force that can operate in contested airspace using a mix of high-end fighters and low-cost systems. The manned-unmanned teaming of the Flag System 2020 could massively multiply Sweden's combat power. It will increase flexibility, reduce risk to pilots, and leverage drones as integral members of the battle formation. Sweden is also going further by adding artificial intelligence to its setting, and so only one human pilot is needed. Artificial intelligence as co-pilot pilots can not only control multiple combat drones for scouting, attack, and electronic warfare, but they can also work with artificial intelligence as a co-pilot. This is one of the most ambitious and game-changing elements of the Flag System 2020. This helps human pilots navigate the overwhelming complexity of modern aerial warfare. Instead of relegating AI to a secondary role, Sweden's vision positions it as a decision support partner. This is a system that can process massive amounts of sensor data, recommend tactics, and even take control when needed. Sweden has already shown serious progress on this front. In a project called Project Beyond, Saab teamed up with the German AI firm Helsing to fly their Helsing Centaur AI agent in a real Gripen E aircraft. Over 3 test flights, the AI successfully autonomously carried out complex beyond visual range maneuvers and even cued the pilot to fire. Centaur is making combat decisions. It can interpret sensor data, track targets, evaluate engagement options, and advise or act on its own. Thanks to Gripen E's flexible software architecture, the AI system can be integrated directly into operational jets. This is what Saab calls a software-defined approach. The upgrades happen quickly without waiting for a completely new airframe. For the Future Flag System 2020, the AI co-pilot capability is expected to be baked into the system of systems architecture. That means it won't only work in the manned fighter, but across its networked drones. The AI could help coordinate manned-unmanned teaming, optimize engagement timing, and manage complex tasks such as target assignment, electronic warfare, and threat assessment. Strategically, AI as co-pilot brings several advantages. It reduces pilot workload, allowing the human to focus on high-level decisions rather than micromanaging sensors or weapons. It also introduces consistency. AI doesn't get tired but actually gets better through simulation training and can respond faster to rapidly changing battlefield conditions. In contested environments, the speed and reliability could make the difference. Of course, integrating AI into lethal systems raises big questions. How much autonomy should the AI have? When does the human retain veto power? Sweden is focused on trust, safety, and human-machine collaboration with its new fighter jet. By embedding AI directly into its next-generation fighter, Sweden is changing the pilot's role. As expected, the highlight is the system of systems approach, which gives it an edge over other fighter jets. Networked Air Dominance, Sweden's flag system 2020, is more than just a new fighter jet. It represents a full system of systems architecture designed to weave together manned aircraft, unmanned drones, sensors, and support networks into a unified, highly flexible combat ecosystem. The future Swedish Air Force will be built around this networked approach, and not a lone aircraft. At the heart of the system, there's a crewed stealth fighter, but surrounding it is a family of loyal wingman drones and uncrewed combat air vehicles, together with support from ground units, surveillance platforms, and potentially satellites. These platforms share core systems, avionics, mission modules, and sensors, which help to reduce development costs, simplify training, and streamline logistics across the entire fleet. Under this networked framework, every node, including manned jets, drones, sensor arrays, and command centers, becomes part of a larger, integrated whole. The pilot of a flag-class fighter effectively becomes a tactical commander, orchestrating a team of unmanned drones, possibly calling in support from ground approach, ground or sea-based assets, and coordinating across platforms in near real time. This has transformed air combat from me versus you fights into complex coordinated operations. That system of systems approach offers different strategic advantages for Sweden. First, it multiplies combat power. A simple manned aircraft plus several autonomous or semi-autonomous drones can cover more ground, overwhelm defenses, and strike multiple targets. Second, it reduces human risk. The cheaper drones take the highest risks, while the pilot stays in safer positions. Third, it greatly improves flexibility. The shared parts across platforms simplify maintenance, and the modular design means the fleet can adapt to new missions or threats without completely redesigning the force. This architecture also future-proofs Swedish air capabilities. As new technologies emerge with better sensors, improved drone autonomy, and enhanced networking, they can be slotted into the system without scraping existing platforms. Sweden is conducting concept studies through 2027, and Stockholm retains agility. The final shape of the force remains flexible until the nation commits to full procurement. With this advanced system, Flag System 2020 will be an evolving combat network where interconnected platforms multiply power, manage risk, and adapt over time. Although Sweden's secret 6th-generation fighter jet is expected to dominate, there are also some challenges that the country is facing for a successful launch. Challenges facing Sweden's program. Despite the ambition behind Flag System 2020, Sweden faces some very real and formidable challenges before its sixth-generation vision can become reality. The first problem is the cost and long-term funding. Building a next-generation combat jet, especially one that integrates stealth, AI, unmanned teaming, and modular systems, comes with staggering price tags. The latest contract given to Saab from Sweden is worth about 2.6 billion Swedish kroner, which is 274 million US dollars. This will only fund conceptual studies and demonstrator work through 2027. But this is just the beginning. Full-scale development, testing, production, and sustainment of a fleet would demand many times that investment over decades. For a small country like Sweden, sustaining predictable multi-decade funding will be a serious challenge, especially in the face of shifting political priorities, economic pressures, or competing defense needs. Secondly, there's the challenge of the technical and engineering complexity. To meet the demanding criteria of a sixth-generation platform, the flag system must deliver advanced stealth across radar, infrared, and other spectra, AI-driven autonomy, secure communication networks, and effective manned-unmanned teaming. Many countries around the world are already trying to build sixth-gen jets globally, but they have realized that the technologies are difficult to integrate reliably. For instance, maintaining low observability while powering high-performance sensors, weapons, and AI systems threatens to generate excess heat or electromagnetic emissions. Sweden is dealing with industrial and supply chain limitations. Building a modern, high-end combat jet requires a mature, resilient aerospace industrial base, skilled labor, and access to advanced materials. This might also include rare earths or exotic alloys. Given the global supply chain pressures and dependencies on foreign suppliers for certain critical components, Sweden could face delays, cost overruns, or bottlenecks. Another challenge that Sweden is facing is the programmatic and schedule risk. The roadmap for Flag System 2020 includes demonstrator work through 2027, but turning that into a production fleet or even committing to full production requires long-term political will, fiscal stability, and sustained industrial momentum. There's also the risk that technological breakthroughs don't materialize on schedule, forcing redesigns or even a rethink of the program. Finally, Sweden's secret sixth-generation fighter jet is facing the problem of strategic and export constraints. For the program to be economically viable, Sweden might need export customers. But selling advanced stealth fighters, especially with sensitive AI or autonomy capabilities, can run into export control restrictions, political considerations, and reluctance from potential partners. Despite all these challenges, Sweden is pushing ahead. The program benefits from real investment, active industry partnerships with Saab, GKN Aerospace, FMV, and the Swedish Defense Research Agency, and an industrial history grounded in efficient, cost-aware design. With careful planning, modular design, and systems of systems thinking, Sweden is attempting to manage risk while aiming high. In fact, Sweden's new fighter jet has some strategic implications for the state in the region and global affairs. Sweden's strategic advantage with Flag System 2020. Sweden is positioning itself as a strategic anchor for NATO in the Baltic and Nordic theater. Since its accession to NATO in March 2024, Stockholm has increased its contributions. Swedish troops now rotate through Latvia as part of the alliance's forward land forces, and Swedish Gripen jets have already participated in Baltic air policing and joint Nordic air operations. But by the mid-2030-50s, if Flag System 2020 comes to fruition, Sweden could offer far more than current assets. The project aims to deliver a full system of systems combat architecture. These include networked manned fighters, unmanned drones, sensor platforms, and shared command and control systems. That kind of capability gives Sweden a unique value within NATO, a nation whose air force can punch far above its size, provide cutting-edge platforms, and lead in modern air warfare approaches. This is also very important for the Baltic Sea region. With geography defined by narrow sea lanes, archipelagos, and a dense coastal environment, controlling airspace is vital. Sweden occupies a central, stabilizing position between the Baltic states, Finland, and the Scandinavian core. A stealthy, networked air force operating from dispersed or improvised bases would dramatically increase NATO's resilience and deterrence capabilities against threats from Russia or hybrid aggression. Now we can see a small Nordic nation is showing it can build 6th-gen air power that could rival the US, China, Russia, and Europe. With Flag System 2020, Sweden could dominate the skies. How do you think the Swedish fighter jet compares to other countries? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all global military events.